If you come to me saying you have floaters, there are a few things going through my head. This is what it could be. Floaters have many causes, and there are some other details about them that can help us get a better grasp for what's going on before we even start the exam. However, this video is not a replacement for an eye exam. My intention is to help you get a better understanding of what's going on so you're prepared for the moment that you see your doctor. That way you can come to a diagnosis and treatment hopefully more efficiently. You might describe floaters as dots, squiggles, cobwebs, blurry areas, or spots in front of your vision. One question you want to think about is, are the floaters transient or are they permanent or long-standing? I'll provide a whole list of important questions to think about at the end of the video, so keep watching. Transient spots in vision would point to migraine as the cause, whether it's in just one eye, an ocular migraine, or in both eyes, likely a migraine with a visual aura. The spots could look like blurry splotches, rainbows, zigzags, and flashing lights that expand and contract in the vision. So they're set apart a little bit from the other spots or floaters that I talk about in the rest of the video, and they tend to last less than an hour typically. Now it's time to talk about the permanent spots. Now, even though I'm describing them as permanent, they may still appear to come and go. I'll explain. These spots are always present in the eye, but they're more noticeable under certain conditions. An easy example of this would be something I think most people watching this video have experienced, which are what we usually call just floaters, which are vitreous condensation or debris. These are the typical floaters people are talking about when they say they have floaters or cobwebs or spots in their vision. These are probably the most common cause of floaters on this list, and they appear to come and go from the vision because they're more noticeable under certain circumstances, like when there's a bright or plain background. But fortunately, if you allow yourself to forget about them, usually they'll go unnoticed for a while and dart back into place when you're thinking about them or under those right circumstances again. But they are actually long-standing because they are always present in the vitreous gel inside of the eye and can actually increase in number with age. They shouldn't be accompanied by any other symptoms unless there happens to be one of those really large floaters that likes to hang out in the very center of your vision, making it a little blurry. I'm going to be following up this video with another about how to improve or treat floaters. Please subscribe so you don't miss it. Permanent or long-standing floaters that can appear much more constant are those caused by a posterior vitreous detachment. While the floaters caused by vitreous condensation tend to appear smaller and are so regular that you might have even named some of them, the floaters caused by a posterior vitreous detachment will suddenly increase in number, and they may actually be quite large, particularly the one that comes off of the optic nerve. Because of the nerve's circular shape and its proximity to the macula, which is responsible for central vision, people tend to get a large circular or clumped floater in that area. Though these can become less noticeable with time, they tend to be more constant in the initial aftermath. They also differ from your typical floaters because they're often accompanied by flashes of light that tend to decrease over time, or sometimes even blurry vision, which tends to improve as the dust settles, or in this case, as the floaters settle. The symptoms of a retinal break or detachment can be quite similar to the symptoms of a posterior vitreous detachment, but in this case, the flashes are less likely to taper off. A retinal break can either be a hole or a tear, and a retinal break can lead to a retinal detachment as fluid goes into that break and gets behind the retina, causing it to detach from the back of the eye. It is really important if you're experiencing floaters, flashes, and that blurry vision to see your doctor right away because it could be a retinal break or detachment. Retinal breaks need to be treated within 24 to 72 hours in most cases, and retinal detachments in 24 to 48, but usually the quicker the better. These are more likely if you have high myopia or nearsightedness, a known retinal condition like lattice degeneration where the periphery of the retina is thinning, a personal or family history of retinal breaks or detachments, a history of cataract surgery, or trauma. Floaters can be a symptom of intermediate or posterior uveitis. And in this case, the floaters are caused by inflammatory cells and proteins floating around in the vitreous gel in the back of the eye here. They tend to look like mobile dark spots or clumps and can also look like cobwebs or smoke. Uveitis is inflammation in the uvea, which you can consider as the middle layer of the eye that includes the iris, the ciliary body, and the choroid, this red line here, which is a network of blood vessels. It's named depending on where the inflammation is located. So intermediate uveitis is in this area here, and posterior uveitis is more in the retina optic nerve area. There's also anterior uveitis, but that's not as likely to create floaters as a symptom. In intermediate and posterior uveitis, there are other symptoms that set it apart from the other causes of floaters I'm discussing today. And these would be a red and painful eye with light sensitivity and blurry vision. Possible underlying or related causes are infection, autoimmune diseases, or systemic inflammatory disorders like sarcoidosis. A vitreous hemorrhage happens when there's a break in a retinal blood vessel that then leaks into the vitreous gel that fills the back of the eye. And though blood cells are red, you're not likely to see red in your vision. It will just look like a blind spot or dark streak in vision, and it can block the vision entirely. Be especially on the lookout for these if you have uncontrolled diabetes and haven't seen your doctor or your eye doctor in a while, or if you know you have advanced diabetic retinopathy. They can also occur in retinal vascular diseases and abnormalities or trauma, like you recently took a soccer ball to the head or the eye directly. They can also happen if you developed a retinal tear or detachment or a posterior vitreous detachment, in which case they are likely going to be accompanied by flashes of light. Just rewind this video a little bit for a reminder of what to look out for there. There can also be spots in vision caused by things going on the corneal surface. These are going to be much more constant because they're not floating around. They're going to be in the same spot of your vision, no matter how you move the eye. Corneal opacities could be many things, including scars from an old injury or infection. Here's your friendly reminder to closely follow contact lens care instructions and hygiene. Corneal dystrophies can cause swelling within the cornea, and corneal degenerations can cause deposits or irregularities within the cornea. Even severe dryness can cause corneal opacities. You'll probably know if you have a corneal foreign body because you felt it happen, and they're extremely painful most of the time. But in some cases, people have reduced nerve sensitivity from nerve damage due to either severe dry eye or they've worn contact lenses for many years. And in this case, they might be a little bit more elusive, but we will definitely see them when we take a look. If instead of cobweb and squiggly-like floaters, it appears like you're looking through television static that covers your entire visual field, or it looks as if you're looking through a snow globe, it could be a rare and complex neurological condition called visual snow syndrome. The snowy static is there persistently, though it might wax and wane over time, and it can worsen with stress, fatigue, and other triggers. Other symptoms you may experience are migraines, flashes of light in the vision, light sensitivity, or ringing in the ears. Have you experienced any strange floaters I didn't mention? How long have you had floaters, and do any of them have names? Let me know in the comments. While you're waiting to meet with your doctor, try to think of the answers to some of these questions. Is it in one eye or both? Do they appear constant or do they come and go? What do the floaters look like? Do they move? How frequently do episodes occur, and how long do the episodes last? When do these symptoms start? Are they only noticeable in certain conditions? Does it go away when the eyes are closed? Are they accompanied by any other symptoms like pain, light sensitivity, flashes of light, migraines? Is there anything that seems to make the floaters improve? Remember to call your doctor if you have any suspicious or new floaters, especially if they're accompanied by flashes of light or changes in vision. Speaking of flashes of light, you should watch this next. Thank you for watching.